In the immense darkness that stretches endlessly beyond our world lies a realm of infinite wonder, space. A silent ocean studded with billions of stars, each holding mysteries that call to our curiosity and beckon us onward. Beyond Earth, human explorers have dared to step into the unknown, venturing where no one has gone before, risking all for the simple, profound privilege of discovery. These are the true stories of space explorers, visionaries who look to the heavens not just as distant points of light, but as tangible realms awaiting our footprints. Imagine for a moment the profound courage it takes to willingly leave the warmth of our blue planet, to exchange the familiar embrace of Earth's gravity for the weightless ballet of orbit. Our species began this epic journey with Yuri Gagarin, a man who, in 1961, became humanity's first ambassador to the cosmos. Gagarin's single orbit around the Earth lasted merely 108 minutes, but it forever changed our relationship with the universe. Looking through the tiny porthole of his capsule, Vostok 1, he became the first human being to witness our fragile world suspended in the abyss, a blue jewel wrapped in an impossibly thin veil of atmosphere. This breathtaking view, now so familiar through countless photographs, was once seen by only a select few, each astronaut profoundly transformed by it. Astronauts often speak of this revelation, describing it as the overview effect, a cognitive shift in awareness that emerges from the awe-inspiring sight of Earth from orbit. Our boundaries, conflicts, and petty disputes become insignificant when observed from space, where nations vanish into a single, unified planet, a pale blue dot in a vast cosmic theater. In July 1969, the journey became even more profound when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the lunar surface, engraving humanity's footprint upon another celestial body for the first time. Armstrong's carefully chosen words echoed around the globe, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Beyond their technical achievement, Armstrong and Aldrin were pioneers of possibility, demonstrating that humans could transcend planetary limits and stand upon worlds other than our own. Since those historic days, exploration has evolved. Human-built machines now traverse the solar system, sending back breathtaking images and profound scientific discoveries. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, humanity's most distant ambassadors, continue their cosmic journeys into interstellar space, billions of kilometers from home, carrying golden records containing sounds and images from Earth. They may well become humanity's enduring legacy, destined perhaps to be found someday by civilizations we can scarcely imagine. Meanwhile, closer to home, robotic explorers traverse the barren landscapes of Mars, roving laboratories such as Curiosity and Perseverance unravel secrets hidden within ancient stones, revealing that the red planet was once warm, wet, and perhaps even hospitable to life. Each robotic explorer is not merely a machine, but an extension of our human desire to explore, to question, to understand. Each pixel, each piece of data they return, deepens our narrative of who we are and our place in the cosmic order. Yet, as powerful and impressive as our robotic emissaries are, the human spirit demands direct participation. Today, humanity is poised on the threshold of a new era, one defined by ambitious plans for returning to the moon, establishing permanent bases, and eventually setting foot on Mars. We stand at the dawn of unprecedented adventures carried forward by agencies and entrepreneurs alike, united by an irresistible desire to explore what lies beyond our familiar skies. Picture, if you will, the astronauts of the near future. Men and women gazing from a lunar colony at Earthrise, a blue sphere rising silently above gray lunar mountains. Or standing on the Martian plains at dusk, watching as the sun dips below a horizon unlike any we've ever known, painting the sky in shades of blue and crimson alien to our experience, yet somehow achingly familiar. These future explorers will write new chapters in humanity's cosmic story, their courage lighting the way toward horizons we can scarcely envision. But beyond ambition, beyond scientific curiosity, there lies a deeper reason why we explore. Space exploration is not simply about satisfying curiosity or solving mysteries. It is a profound reflection of who we are. It embodies our innate desire to reach beyond limitations, to embrace the unknown with open arms, to see ourselves from afar and discover truths not only about distant worlds, but about our own humanity. Every astronaut who ventures into the void, every scientist who dreams of distant worlds, every engineer who crafts a vehicle bound for the stars, becomes part of an unbroken lineage stretching back to the first humans who looked upward into the night sky and wondered. They remind us that exploration is not merely physical travel, it is an act of imagination, a demonstration of courage, and above all, a testament to our endless capacity for wonder. As we journey further into the cosmos, each mission carries with it the dreams of generations, the whispers of those who once gazed into the night sky, questioning what lay beyond the veil of stars. From our earliest voyages into orbit to our future homes on other worlds, humanity's exploration of space is more than discovery, it's a story about ourselves, a mirror held up to our infinite capacity for awe, curiosity, and hope. So, join us as we embark on this extraordinary voyage. Together, we will explore not just space, but the boundless universe within ourselves. Every step beyond Earth's comforting boundaries pushes humanity into realms once confined to imagination. The pioneers who venture into space do not merely journey outward, they travel inward, confronting the very limits of human endurance, resilience, and ingenuity. In weightlessness, amidst the stark silence of orbit, explorers confront questions that echo back from the void, challenging what it truly means to be human. Consider the isolation of prolonged spaceflight. Astronauts aboard space stations like the iconic International Space Station circle the Earth in perpetual twilight, witnessing 16 sunrises and sunsets each day. Their bodies adapt to an environment utterly foreign to our terrestrial existence. Bones weaken, muscles atrophy, and the sense of direction itself becomes abstract, reminding us of our deep bond to Earth's gravity and the delicate physiological balance we so easily take for granted. Yet, even amid these harsh conditions, human beings thrive. Adaptation becomes an everyday miracle. Astronauts cultivate plants, creating miniature gardens in microgravity. Green islands of life floating hundreds of kilometers above our planet. Such simple acts become profound affirmations of life, hinting at how humanity might someday survive and thrive far from home, perhaps aboard interplanetary vessels or distant outposts scattered across our solar system. On these long journeys, astronauts confront something even more profound: the psychological landscape of isolation and wonder. Far above Earth's cities, beyond the distractions and noise, spacefarers often speak of an extraordinary clarity. The cosmos becomes a mirror, reflecting personal introspection and universal truths. Astronauts keep journals, writing candidly about their awe, loneliness, and unexpected epiphanies, each entry a testament to the human spirit thriving in solitude. And then there are those moments of unexpected beauty that unfold far beyond Earth, cosmic ballet performances that astronauts alone are privileged to witness. Aurorae shimmering gracefully around the poles, ethereal veils of green and red dancing silently beneath them, the serene, delicate bloom of lightning storms below, bursting through cloud tops like hidden fireworks, meteors streaking below their feet. Tiny visitors burning bright, reminders of the perpetual cosmic collision that shapes our universe. Space exploration, in all its darkness, also carries profound risk. Every launch, every mission into the great unknown carries with it a shadow of potential tragedy. Yet astronauts willingly embrace these dangers, knowing that progress often demands sacrifice. We honor the memories of those who gave their lives. The crews of Apollo 1, Challenger, Columbia, heroes whose bravery fuels humanity's relentless desire to venture further. Today, a new generation of explorers prepares for deeper journeys. Journeys to asteroids, lunar poles shrouded in eternal darkness, and eventually to Mars, where human footprints will forever transform the red dust into historical landmarks. These missions will demand even greater courage, pushing human ingenuity to unparalleled heights. Mars-bound crews will journey across a black void stretching tens of millions of kilometers. Their fragile habitats, tiny islands in a vast, empty ocean of space. Their arrival will mark not just another first, but a shift in human destiny, our transformation into a multiplanetary species. Beyond Mars lies a wealth of untold mysteries. Icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, worlds hidden beneath thick shells of ice, where vast subsurface oceans may cradle life forms unlike anything we have known. Imagine a submarine explorer piercing Europa's icy crust, descending into darkness lit only by bioluminescent organisms drifting in alien currents. Or envision Titan, Saturn's enigmatic moon, cloaked in dense, orange haze, its surface sculpted by rivers of liquid methane, strange, cold echoes of Earth's own geology. Even farther still, interstellar dreams stir within human imagination. While we may yet lack the technology to voyage beyond our solar system, initiatives such as Breakthrough Starshot propose sending tiny probes on beams of powerful lasers toward our nearest stellar neighbors. Such audacious plans symbolize our unwillingness to accept limits, our boundless drive to reach out toward distant stars, our eternal yearning to know, to see, to understand worlds we can scarcely begin to imagine. Ultimately, our exploration of space is less about conquering new territories than about expanding our understanding, deepening our empathy, and recognizing our shared humanity. Space exploration compels us to redefine ourselves, to move beyond the narrowness of our immediate horizons and embrace our collective potential as caretakers, discoverers, dreamers. Each mission beyond Earth becomes a powerful reminder of our responsibility to ourselves, to future generations, and to the delicate web of life we carry with us into space. As we venture further into the cosmos, let us carry forward this humility, this awe, this profound respect for the universe we are privileged to explore. For in exploring space, we do more than just uncover cosmic mysteries. We illuminate the very essence of our humanity, revealing a truth as profound as it is simple. We are explorers, forever drawn to the unknown, endlessly searching for our place among the stars. In the silent expanse beyond Earth, every mission becomes a dialogue, an exchange between humanity and the cosmos. But exploration isn't simply about venturing farther into the unknown. It's also about expanding our perception, changing the way we see ourselves, and reshaping the collective consciousness of our species. Consider the profound act of sending messages into the depths of interstellar space. The Voyager spacecraft carry records encoded with humanity's songs, languages, and greetings. A hopeful whisper into the void, an earnest attempt to share our identity with possible civilizations unimaginably distant. These golden discs are more than mere artifacts. They represent humanity's universal longing to connect, to transcend isolation and loneliness in the vast emptiness between stars. Every deep space signal we broadcast, from the steady pulses sent by powerful radio telescopes to the encoded messages carried aboard space probes, carries an existential question: are we alone? Listening intently for a response, our radio telescopes sweep the skies tirelessly, hoping to detect an echo, a whisper, or a beacon from another civilization somewhere out there, confirming that the story of life is not ours alone. But even as we look outward, space exploration invites us to turn our gaze inward. Telescopes like Hubble, Webb, and countless observatories scattered across our planet peer into the deepest corners of the universe, capturing ancient starlight from galaxies whose photons traveled billions of years to reach us. These photographs do more than record distant cosmic events. They inspire a profound emotional resonance, connecting us intimately with a distant past, showing us galaxies as they were when the universe itself was young. Reminding us that we too are made from stardust, shaped by the same cosmic forces that ignite suns and spiral galaxies into graceful arcs. On the International Space Station, astronauts carry out meticulous experiments designed not only to advance science but to deepen our understanding of life itself. Cells grown in microgravity behave differently, revealing secrets about human health, aging, and disease. Such research hints at breakthroughs that could dramatically change life back on Earth, reinforcing the fact that our journeys into space inevitably enrich our lives at home. Then there is the breathtaking endeavor of searching for extraterrestrial life, arguably humanity's greatest quest. We send rovers and drones to distant worlds, equipped with instruments capable of detecting the faintest signatures of life, hidden beneath frozen oceans or buried deep in Martian soil. Each sample of dust and ice returned from space carries the promise of discovery, the possibility that we might soon hold in our hands evidence that life, in some form, has arisen elsewhere. Such a discovery would not merely be scientific. It would shift humanity's place in the universe forever, redefining our understanding of existence itself. Even as we navigate the challenges of spaceflight, exploring beyond Earth forces us to confront questions of ethics, sustainability, and stewardship. As we plan colonies on the Moon, Mars, and beyond, we wrestle with profound moral considerations. How do we avoid repeating the environmental mistakes we've made on Earth? How do we preserve pristine worlds even as we strive to inhabit them? Our answers will reveal not just our technological capacity, but our maturity as a species. New generations, inspired by the tales of astronauts and explorers before them, now dream of becoming citizens of the cosmos. Space tourism is beginning to blur the boundary between explorers and everyday people, allowing more humans to experience firsthand the fragility and beauty of our world suspended in space. Each journey, each new visitor to orbit broadens our shared perspective, reminding humanity of the interconnectedness of all life and the responsibility that comes with such profound awareness. At the cutting edge of exploration, scientists theorize about future technologies, propulsion methods capable of carrying humanity across vast interstellar distances. Nuclear fusion drives, antimatter engines, and even speculative warp drives, ideas that might one day propel human beings toward distant stars, turning science fiction into reality. These futuristic dreams reflect humanity's relentless ingenuity, our refusal to accept boundaries, and our unwavering faith in possibility. Every astronaut who gazes back at Earth from orbit is transformed, bearing witness to the beauty and vulnerability of our planet, a vision they carry back home as ambassadors of awareness. The awe that comes from seeing our home as a fragile speck in the infinite void drives them to advocate for unity, sustainability, and global compassion. Ultimately, the exploration of space is an endeavor that transcends mere curiosity or scientific ambition. It's a profound search for meaning, for connection, and for a sense of belonging in an unimaginably vast cosmos. It compels us to evolve beyond our petty differences, to become wiser stewards of our shared planet, and to recognize that, no matter how far we venture into the darkness, Earth will always be our precious home, the place from which all journeys begin. In reaching out toward the stars, we do more than explore, we evolve. We become a species conscious of its place in the universe, a civilization striving not just to survive, but to flourish, guided by dreams as limitless as the cosmos itself. Each voyage beyond our familiar sky is a testament to human imagination, courage, and collaboration, qualities essential not only to our survival but to our evolution as a species. Yet, amid the grand technological feats and daring missions, it is often the quiet, unseen moments of exploration that profoundly shape our understanding of ourselves and our place among the stars. Imagine the solitude of an astronaut suspended in the darkened silence of space, floating freely, tethered only by a fragile cord. Within this profound quiet, there lies clarity, a raw encounter with one's own thoughts, stripped of earthly distractions. Space explorers describe this experience as transformative, a rare opportunity to glimpse humanity's existence from outside the tumult and noise of civilization. It is here, in this absolute quiet, that explorers confront the deeper truths of their own existence, understanding that exploration itself is a deeply introspective act, as much a journey inward as outward. As we push further into space, we also encounter the ethical frontiers of our expanding cosmic footprint. How do we respect the pristine environments of celestial bodies untouched for billions of years? How do we ensure our urge to colonize does not repeat mistakes of past exploration, where the quest for discovery led to unintended consequences? These profound questions become ever more relevant as humanity prepares for permanent settlements on the Moon, Mars, and perhaps even beyond. The ethical stewardship of space, learning to balance exploration with respect for these new worlds, is among the greatest challenges humanity will face as we transition into a spacefaring civilization. Another compelling dimension of exploration emerges through international cooperation. Space exploration uniquely unites diverse cultures, bringing together scientists, engineers, and astronauts from around the world. The International Space Station, for instance, is more than a remarkable technological achievement. It symbolizes the power of collaboration across national divides, offering a vision of humanity unified in pursuit of common goals. In space, national boundaries dissolve into irrelevance, reminding us of our shared identity as citizens of a single, fragile planet, together facing the boundless universe. Future explorations, like those to Mars and distant asteroids, will demand unprecedented global collaboration. These missions will require pooling resources, expertise, and technologies from every corner of Earth, a profound lesson in unity that could reshape geopolitics. The shared challenges of surviving deep space travel, of establishing distant settlements, and of ensuring human safety across astronomical distances will compel us to view ourselves not as disparate peoples divided by borders, but as a single human family sharing the same cosmic destiny. Yet even as we expand our horizons, the cosmos holds countless mysteries we are only beginning to comprehend. Dark matter and dark energy, these invisible forces shaping our universe, remain among the most profound enigmas facing modern astronomy. Our quest to understand these hidden aspects of reality pushes humanity deeper into realms previously unknown, compelling us to redefine our fundamental understanding of the universe's nature. The search for answers to these cosmic riddles is itself a powerful motivator for exploration, driving us toward new technological breakthroughs and philosophical insights about the structure of reality itself. And within these great unknowns lies another mystery: time itself. As we peer deeper into space, we peer back through time, glimpsing galaxies whose light has journeyed billions of years to reach us. Each photon that touches our telescopes carries messages from the ancient universe, a narrative of cosmic history written in starlight. Exploring space, therefore, is fundamentally an exploration of time, a journey through epochs that stretch beyond the comprehension of human scale. This profound interplay of space and time challenges our perception of reality, inviting us to question the very nature of existence itself. Beyond the practical and scientific dimensions of space exploration lies a deeply emotional resonance. Each new discovery touches us on a primal level, invoking wonder, awe, and humility. When we discover an Earth-like exoplanet orbiting a distant star, we feel an exhilarating sense of kinship with the cosmos. When telescopes reveal violent stellar explosions or the graceful spiral arms of distant galaxies, we witness beauty on scales that defy imagination. Beauty that reshapes our understanding of what it means to be alive and conscious in a universe so vast and extraordinary. Today, private ventures and visionary entrepreneurs complement traditional space agencies, democratizing access to space exploration. Companies are innovating, racing to lower the cost of space travel, opening doors for broader participation. Soon, the dreams of ordinary citizens exploring space will become reality, not just for professional astronauts, but for artists, teachers, writers, and scientists alike. This new era promises to infuse space exploration with diverse perspectives, stories, and insights, enriching humanity's cosmic narrative in ways we cannot yet imagine. As we gaze upward toward the stars, poised on the edge of ever greater adventures, let us recognize that space exploration is more than a scientific endeavor. It is the ultimate expression of human curiosity, creativity, and courage, a pursuit reflecting our deepest dreams, desires, and aspirations. Each journey outward carries us closer not only to distant worlds, but toward a deeper understanding of who we are, why we exist, and what we may yet become. Our destiny among the stars awaits us, beckoning, mysterious, infinite in its possibilities, and endlessly calling us onward. Out beyond the familiar realms we know, the very fabric of human imagination expands, driven by our ceaseless fascination with the unseen and unexplored. Yet exploration is more than mere adventure. It is our species' response to the timeless questions whispered by the stars. What is our place in the cosmos? What lies beyond the horizon of our current understanding? As we look forward, visionary ideas once confined to fiction are steadily transitioning into reality. Imagine habitats orbiting Earth, vast, rotating stations designed as self-contained worlds, complete with ecosystems mirroring Earth's biosphere. Here, humanity could live sustainably, testing strategies crucial for long-duration space travel. These artificial worlds represent not just technical ambition, but a cultural and philosophical shift toward becoming a genuinely interplanetary civilization, one capable of flourishing independently from the protective embrace of our home planet. Meanwhile, a new generation of astronomers is unlocking secrets buried in starlight. Exoplanet hunters like the Kepler and TESS space telescopes have unveiled thousands of distant worlds, some remarkably similar to Earth, orbiting their stars within the Goldilocks zone, where liquid water and perhaps life might exist. Each discovery carries the promise of future voyages, missions that might one day send probes or even crewed spacecraft to explore these distant planets firsthand. The detection of atmospheres containing potential biological signatures, such as oxygen or methane, ignites our collective imagination, hinting that we are on the brink of answering the ancient question of life's ubiquity across the cosmos. Simultaneously, telescopes probing deeper into space reveal phenomena so extraordinary they challenge our fundamental grasp of physics itself. Black holes, once theoretical curiosities, are now observed in astonishing detail. Cosmic leviathans shaping galaxies, devouring stars, and distorting space-time itself. By studying these gravitational behemoths, we not only witness the extreme edges of reality but also begin to understand the deeper mechanisms governing our universe. As we explore the bizarre physics of neutron stars, quasars, and cosmic strings, we push forward the boundaries of what we consider possible, redefining our relationship with nature on the grandest scales. In laboratories on Earth and aboard space stations, scientists seek to understand how biology adapts and survives beyond Earth's protective environment. Life, it turns out, can be surprisingly resilient. Experiments with extremophiles, microorganisms thriving under seemingly impossible conditions, suggest life could exist in hostile cosmic environments, from the ice-covered oceans of Europa to the methane lakes of Titan. Such discoveries expand our definition of life's potential habitats, broadening the scope of our search for extraterrestrial existence. And yet, amidst the grandeur of these cosmic pursuits, space exploration also celebrates humanity's most humble qualities: perseverance, patience, and quiet dedication. Consider the scientists behind missions like New Horizons, which spent nearly a decade traversing the silent, cold darkness of space before finally arriving at Pluto. These researchers devoted their careers to an encounter lasting mere hours, rewarded by breathtaking views of a distant, icy world never before seen by human eyes. Such missions remind us that exploration is inherently a long-term endeavor, guided by faith and knowledge that future generations will benefit from our current courage and foresight. Now, a quiet revolution is emerging through artificial intelligence and autonomous spacecraft. Soon, AI-guided probes may journey independently, navigating asteroid belts, identifying targets, making decisions millions of kilometers from human oversight. These autonomous explorers represent a new frontier of discovery, capable of going places human astronauts may never reach, reporting back from environments too extreme, distant, or dangerous for human presence. Yet even as we embrace robotic emissaries, the allure of human spaceflight remains profoundly powerful. It resonates deeply because space exploration embodies our most ancient, fundamental impulses to push boundaries, to test limits, to seek the unknown with our own eyes. The visceral experience of exploration, the tactile sensation of lunar dust beneath gloved fingers, the sight of Martian sands stretching endlessly beneath an alien sky, remains unmatched by robotic exploration. It is human presence, human touch, and human perspective that bring meaning to these voyages, creating connections between distant worlds and the collective human experience. Moreover, space exploration urges us to rethink our relationship with Earth itself. Observations from orbiting satellites and space stations have radically altered our understanding of climate, weather patterns, and ecosystems, providing critical data that informs environmental stewardship on Earth. Space technology developed for exploration, solar cells, advanced recycling systems, lightweight materials returns home to improve everyday life, driving innovations in medicine, energy, transportation, and countless other fields. Far from being separate from earthly concerns, our exploration of space profoundly shapes our collective future here at home. Each new cosmic revelation, every bold leap forward, inspires younger generations. Educational initiatives leveraging space exploration captivate millions of students around the globe, igniting passions in science, engineering, mathematics, and the arts. Future astronauts, scientists, and visionaries begin their journeys as children gazing up at the night sky, inspired by stories of distant worlds and daring voyages. As we embark on the next chapters of humanity's cosmic odyssey, our quest to explore space is revealed as something greater than the sum of its parts. It is a reflection of our deepest desires, to understand our origins, to embrace mystery, and to connect across vast cosmic distances. Through each mission, each probe, and every human who ventures beyond Earth's atmosphere, we weave a narrative that unites us across generations and cultures, illuminating the profound truth that our destiny is inexorably bound to the stars. In venturing beyond Earth, we are not simply exploring space, we are defining what it truly means to be human. And so the journey continues, not as a straight path, but as a spiral winding ever outward through time and distance, carrying with it the weight of our collective hopes. Each new venture into the cosmos reflects not only a milestone of engineering or science, but a moment of philosophical reckoning. How much are we willing to risk for knowledge? How far are we prepared to reach to understand the nature of our own existence? We stand now at the intersection of memory and possibility. The tales of Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo are not merely chapters of the past, they are the prologue to a story still unfolding. Their echoes resound through modern launch pads, autonomous systems, and digital simulations preparing for missions more daring than ever before. Today's astronauts train not just for orbital flight, but for the harsh regolith of the moon's south pole and the long, light-delayed conversations of Martian exploration. These are not dreamers lost in fiction, they are scientists, engineers, artists, and thinkers carrying with them the legacy of every ancestor who once looked to the sky and dared to imagine. We have entered an age where the imagination is no longer limited by the reach of our tools. 3D printed structures may soon rise on other worlds constructed from the very soil of the Moon or Mars. These technologies are not merely conveniences, they are necessities. They represent the adaptability required to survive in environments without atmosphere, without liquid water, where radiation rains down and the sun is a cold, distant orb. The human body is not built for such places. But the human will, our ingenuity, our collaboration, our capacity to shape the world around us, that is precisely what makes us capable of turning hostile terrain into the next chapter of home. The challenges ahead are daunting. Mars, with its vast deserts and razor-thin air, is more isolated than anything humans have ever known. A one-way light time of over 10 minutes between Earth and Mars means there will be no quick decisions from mission control. Every choice must be made by those on the ground, in real time, with absolute clarity and calm. Yet within this isolation lies the possibility of a new kind of society. One that must be rooted in cooperation, in resilience, and in purpose. On another world, stripped of the noise of modern life, what values will we carry forward? What stories will we tell to keep ourselves human under alien skies? As we stretch beyond Earth, we are confronted by the scale of what we do not know. We stare into cosmic distances that dwarf comprehension, where entire galaxies are swallowed by black holes, where the light of creation itself still echoes in the microwave background. We know now that the universe is not only expanding, but accelerating, driven by a mysterious force we call dark energy, a name that is more an admission of ignorance than an explanation. We are explorers in the truest sense, asking questions that have no clear answers and yet still daring to follow the path they suggest. And perhaps the most profound realization is this: the more we learn, the more precious Earth becomes. There is no planet quite like it. Among the billions of exoplanets identified, none have revealed a cradle as rich and temperate, none have offered the same symphony of life. Seen from space, Earth is heartbreakingly beautiful, a swirl of blues and whites, of forests breathing, of oceans pulsing with life. It is not just where we come from, it is what we are. Space does not replace Earth. It reminds us why it matters. In time, the solar system itself may become our neighborhood. Mining operations on asteroids, rotating cities in orbit, fusion-powered ships sailing toward the icy moons of Neptune, these are no longer just sketches in science fiction. They are being calculated, modeled, quietly prototyped in labs and think tanks. And with every new rover that lands, every telescope that deploys, every sensor that returns data, we take one more step into that future. But we must carry wisdom with us as we go. Technological advancement is not synonymous with moral growth. The true test of our species will not be whether we can survive among the stars, but whether we can bring with us compassion, stewardship, and humility. Whether we can build new worlds without destroying them. Whether we can stand in awe before the cosmos and remember that we, too, are small. Because even as we seek other horizons, it is connection, not conquest, that defines exploration at its highest form. We explore to understand, to empathize, to see ourselves from new perspectives. In space, we are reminded of our common origin, stardust forged in long-dead suns, arranged by chance into consciousness capable of wonder. That wonder is not something we outgrow. It is something we carry forward, into the next capsule, the next launch, the next silent orbit, the next dusty footprint on a world yet untouched. And as long as there are those who lift their eyes to the stars and ask, what's out there, the journey will continue. Not because we must, but because we can. Beyond the veil of blue that shields us from the vacuum of space lies a domain not hostile but indifferent, a realm governed by physics alone, where life as we know it has no guarantee, no sanctuary. Yet it is into this very indifference that we cast our hopes, our machines, and our stories. The human journey beyond Earth is not defined by comfort, but by resolve, the determination to reach, to endure, to understand. As our spacecraft travel farther, the distances grow immense and the margins for error ever thinner. A malfunction that would be trivial on Earth can become catastrophic when you're tens of millions of kilometers away, surrounded not by people but by silence. The silence, profound and eternal, is the background against which every beep of a working instrument, every whisper from a spacecraft's telemetry becomes a triumph. In that stillness, success is not loud. It is precise. It is hard-earned. It is fragile. And still, we persist. The future of exploration depends not only on the strength of our rockets or the accuracy of our calculations, but on the strength of our imagination. We are now exploring ideas once thought too daring, too remote. Concepts like space elevators, ribbons of carbon material stretching from Earth's surface into orbit offer radical alternatives to chemical propulsion. Others dream of solar sails catching the wind of starlight itself, propelling tiny probes toward distant stars, untethered from fuel, carried only by light. These dreams are not distractions. They are blueprints for a species in motion. Every innovation we pursue is part of a larger pattern, each thread woven into a tapestry that spans not just time, but scale, from the microscopic particles that animate our bodies to the grand galaxies swirling across the void. Yet for all our technological ambition, some of the most profound breakthroughs come not from building machines, but from asking better questions. What constitutes life? What forms might intelligence take if shaped by entirely different conditions? Could it be microbial, hiding beneath ice? Could it be digital, encoded into networks of light or magnetism? Or might it be something stranger still, sentient clouds and gas giants, creatures evolved without eyes but with senses attuned to radiation or gravity? These are not idle fantasies. They are the logical extensions of what science teaches us. That life is adaptable, resourceful, and often surprising. Our understanding of biology is still tethered to the single example we know, Earth. But each mission to Europa, Enceladus, or the subsurface of Mars expands the frame, hinting at the possibility of new biochemistries, new ecosystems, new ways of being. At the same time, the questions grow more intimate. As we explore the stars, we confront the nature of consciousness itself. Is the human mind uniquely suited for exploration, or is it simply the latest expression of an ancient cosmic principle, the universe becoming aware of itself? In every probe we launch, every crater we map, there is an echo of something deeper, the longing of a sentient species to know, to see, to matter. And so we continue to build. We build observatories that see the first light after the Big Bang. We build labs aboard spacecraft, studying how cells grow in zero gravity, how metals behave in vacuum, how time and radiation sculpt the human body over months and years in orbit. We build archives on the moon, etched with human knowledge, in the hope that some future intelligence, ours or another, might recover them long after we are gone. In this way, space is not only our frontier, it is our legacy. Even now, in quiet corners of Earth, plans are being drawn for missions centuries in the making. Starships that will take generations to reach their destinations. Data packets that will take decades to arrive. These projects defy the impatience of modern life. They require a different rhythm, a rhythm of trust in the future, of patience not just across lifetimes, but across civilizations. They are not about immediate results. They are about meaning. Perhaps this is the greatest gift of space exploration. It stretches our sense of time, of value, of purpose. It asks us to think not in quarters or years, but in eras. Not in lifespans, but in legacies. In doing so, it reminds us that we are not the end of a story, we are its continuation. And through it all, one constant remains. The stars do not come closer. We go to them. Through gravity wells and radiation belts, through solar storms and interstellar silence, we press forward, not blindly, but with reverence. Because space is not a prize to be won, nor a resource to be consumed. It is a mirror held up to the deepest parts of who we are. In that mirror, we see both our frailty and our potential. We see a species still learning how to care for its only home and yet already dreaming of homes among the stars. We see a creature of dust and water, trembling and mortal, daring to reach into the eternal. We see ourselves as we are and as we might become. And still, we go. Each step we take beyond Earth isn't simply a continuation of exploration, it's an evolution of perspective. As our machines drift farther, as our minds stretch wider, and as our footprints begin to press into foreign soils, a quiet transformation unfolds. The cosmos, once a backdrop to myth and mystery, becomes a canvas upon which humanity begins to write its next chapter, not with legends, but with data, with courage, with the will to understand. Our presence beyond Earth is still young, fragile like the first fire built by ancient hands. Yet even now, it burns with the same primal hunger, the desire to see what lies beyond the hills, beyond the oceans, beyond the sky. That hunger now draws us into realms where the laws of nature are both familiar and alien, where time slows near massive objects, where light bends around unseen masses, and where particles vanish into probabilities. In these strange frontiers, we do not arrive as masters. We arrive as students. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we know. In the silence of deep space, humility becomes our greatest tool. For no matter how far our spacecraft travel, they remain tethered to a species still struggling to understand itself. And yet, it is precisely that struggle, our curiosity, our restlessness, that gives our journey meaning. Think of the data we gather from distant stars, light, ancient and faint, encoded with the secrets of stellar birth and death. With each spectrum analyzed, each wobble detected, we draw a more detailed map of our galactic neighborhood. But these are not mere coordinates. They are possibilities. Each star is a question mark. Each planet is a mirror, reflecting not just potential life, but the diversity of paths evolution might take under different suns. And still, we look inward. In the confines of spacecraft, we study how consciousness endures isolation, how dreams persist in low gravity, how the human heart, removed from Earth's rhythms, finds new ways to beat in tune with the cosmos. Long-duration missions are not only physical tests, they are psychological odysseys revealing the shape of the mind when stripped of earthly noise. What happens to love, to fear, to memory when Earth becomes a pale blue speck glimpsed through a distant window? What kind of art will we create in orbit? What poetry will be written on Mars? These are not trivial questions. They are essential. For in seeking new worlds, we are also testing which parts of ourselves must endure and which we must leave behind. In time, even the question of what it means to be human may evolve. Cyborg systems, neural enhancements, and biological modifications will likely become necessities rather than luxuries for surviving on harsh worlds. Adaptation will no longer be generational, it will be intentional. We may choose to become something new, not as a loss of humanity, but as its extension. And perhaps one day we will meet others who have done the same. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence is not just a technical challenge, it is a philosophical revolution waiting to happen. The discovery of even a single signal, a single artifact, would rewrite our understanding of life, intelligence, and isolation. But even silence speaks volumes. If we are alone, then the responsibility of stewardship for our planet, our species, our future becomes infinitely more profound. If we are not, then every new encounter may teach us not only about others, but about ourselves. Until then, we send our voices across the stars. Digital pulses, mathematical greetings, fragments of language and song. We wait, patient and listening, as our own descendants may one day become the answer to another world's question. Who is out there? This unfolding era is no longer one of accidental discovery. It is deliberate, coordinated, global. It is the result of decades, centuries of cumulative thought. We build upon the dreams of generations, inheriting both their wonder and their mistakes. And in return, we pass forward something greater than technology. We pass forward vision. A vision of cities beneath alien skies. Of children born with two skies to call their own. Of telescopes the size of continents orbiting far from any sun, capturing the birth of the first stars. Of messages exchanged not in minutes, but in centuries across a galactic web of intelligent life. Even if such dreams take 1,000 years to realize, they begin here with us. With the questions we ask, the risks we take, and the stories we choose to tell. The stars are not distant anymore. They are destinations. And in their light, we begin to recognize our future not as a path already drawn, but as a canvas vast enough for all we dare to imagine. We are not passengers on this journey. We are its authors, its architects. And somewhere in the cold, silent dark, the next chapter awaits, unwritten but inevitable. And still, we write. With each mission launched into the sky, each module assembled in orbit, each signal returned from some lonely outpost in the dark, we add another verse to the story of a species awakening to its cosmic context. We are no longer just survivors of a harsh planet, we are participants in the unfolding drama of the universe. Not spectators, but storytellers. Our technology reaches farther than ever before, but it is our capacity for wonder that propels us most. That intangible spark, the childlike awe at a new discovery, the scientist's quiet thrill at the first signal from a distant probe, the engineer's joy in solving a problem that once seemed insurmountable, this is the true engine of exploration. Machines may carry us outward, but it is the human soul that charts the course. We now speak of terraforming, reshaping other planets to resemble Earth. It is a testament to both our power and our responsibility. To make Mars bloom, to melt its poles, to release buried gases and thicken the air is not a task for a single generation. It is a project of civilization, a promise that the human story can be written across many worlds. But with that promise comes a question: if we can change a planet, can we also change ourselves for the better? The lessons of Earth must follow us wherever we go. Our home world has taught us about balance, about fragility, about the intricate interdependence of life. We must carry these lessons like sacred texts to the stars, for without them we risk repeating our most costly mistakes on grander scales. Expansion without reflection is not evolution, it is repetition. And space is too vast, too precious to fill with echoes of our unchecked ambitions. In the deep black between the stars, time stretches. Missions become decades-long endeavors. Decisions made today may only bear fruit in the hands of grandchildren yet unborn. This long arc of time challenges our usual sense of urgency, but it also demands maturity. It asks us to build not just for ourselves, but for those who will one day inherit our orbiting stations, our lunar outposts, our distant settlements. They will read our logs, study our mistakes, and walk into the future we dared to begin. In these ventures, failure is never the end, it is a teacher. Every lost probe, every delayed mission, every unforeseen obstacle becomes part of a growing body of wisdom. Exploration is never linear. It is iterative, patient, and, at times, heartbreaking. But each setback refines our resolve. Each obstacle sharpens our focus. This is how progress happens. Not in leaps, but in layers. And still, we dream. We dream of starships powered by fusion, of light sail flotillas spreading like dandelion seeds across interstellar space. We dream of beacons on distant moons blinking quietly in the dark, guiding travelers across the solar system. We imagine libraries carved into the walls of Martian caves, filled with stories from Earth, written in languages both ancient and unborn. We imagine music played in the vacuum of space, felt not through air but through vibration, transmitted into helmets and hearts. These dreams are not idle. They are the scaffolding of the future. The more we explore, the more we are reminded that space is not a destination. It is a condition. Surrounds us. We live in it already. Earth itself is a spaceship hurtling through the galaxy at over 200 kilometers per second. Our atmosphere is its shield, our ecosystems its life support. We are already crew members. What space exploration offers is the perspective to see it. To see Earth not as the center of everything, but as a cradle from which we are now learning to rise. A beginning, not a boundary. And perhaps, in some distant age, when our maps extend across clusters of stars and our histories are preserved on worlds beyond our own, we will look back on this moment, this era of trembling first steps, of fragile rockets and hopeful transmissions. And we will understand it as the moment humanity became aware of its vast potential. The moment we stopped merely surviving and began to participate in the story of the universe with intent and clarity. We do not know where this path will ultimately lead, but we know this: it will not be a single destination nor a final frontier. It will be a process, endless, evolving, sacred in its pursuit. The stars will not come to us, so we go to them, quietly, boldly, together. There will come a time when the first child is born beyond Earth, perhaps beneath the silvered glow of the moon in a pressurized dome where Earthlight filters through reinforced glass. Or perhaps on Mars, in a habitat nestled beneath ancient regolith to guard against radiation. That moment, intimate, biological, universal, will mark a turning point not in technology, but in identity. We will no longer be a species from Earth. We will become a species of the cosmos. That child will grow up beneath a different sky. Earth will be a pale disk on the horizon, not a home, but a legend. Their lullabies will be stories of a world full of oceans, clouds, and forests. Their gravity will be weaker, their bodies subtly changed, their culture shaped not by the arc of seasons but by the cycles of solar flares and oxygen filters. And yet, they will be human. In them, all of us will continue. All the migrations of our past, across continents and oceans, will culminate in that first breath on another world. It will not be a grand gesture, nor a media event. It will be quiet. It will be personal. It will be the future, arriving without spectacle, just as dawn always does. This is what space offers. Not escape, but expansion. As the boundaries of exploration widen, so too do the boundaries of our thinking. Philosophers, artists, and poets will be called to interpret a cosmos increasingly accessible. What does art look like on a rotating space station, where there is no up or down? How does music sound when composed for environments where sound cannot travel, and must instead be felt through vibration? How will language evolve when it must describe sensations and phenomena that no human has ever known? Culture will not be left behind, it will evolve with us. Space will be not only an arena of science, but of meaning. Religion, too, may find new expressions among the stars. The sacred will be reframed, not confined to temples or texts, but embodied in the act of preservation, in the rituals of maintaining life against impossible odds, in the awe of seeing the Milky Way stretched across an untouched sky. The act of survival itself may become a kind of prayer. And in this evolving existence, we will find new ways to define community, not bound by geography but by purpose. A Martian settlement, a lunar research colony, a crew en route to the outer planets. Each will develop its own rhythms, its own customs, shaped by environment, necessity, and the human heart. We may become different from one another, not by race or creed, but by orbit and atmosphere. And still, we will remain one species, threads of the same origin, woven across different worlds. But even as we spread outward, we must remember the rarest thing we carry is not metal or fuel or oxygen. It is life. Every seed, every gene, every cell carried beyond Earth is a miracle of probability, a defiance of entropy. The green sprout of a bean plant curling toward the artificial sun of a space habitat is not just a test, it is a symbol. It tells us that life, given even a sliver of hope, will reach, adapt, and bloom. And so must we. In the microgravity of low Earth orbit, in the dust storms of Mars, in the ice caverns of Europa, life will be fragile but never without meaning. Because each place we plant it, each place we protect it, we redefine what is possible. And over time, the memory of Earth will shift. It will become our origin story, sacred, mythic, detailed in archives and remembered in ceremony. Pilgrimages to the homeworld may become rare, treasured events like journeys to ancestral lands. Earth will be both real and symbolic, the first spark, the birthplace, the original garden. Yet we must never romanticize Earth at the cost of neglecting it. For if we are to journey into the stars with integrity, we must leave behind more than footprints. We must leave behind a world in balance, a testament to our growth, not our carelessness. The legacy of spacefaring civilizations must include the wisdom to care for their own cradle. In this pursuit, we are not alone. The animals that share our planet, the plants that sustain us, the microorganisms that form invisible foundations of life, all may travel with us. Arc missions, genetic libraries, living ecosystems may one day be housed in interstellar vessels, ensuring that Earth's great experiment does not end with us, but becomes part of the cosmos itself. One day, perhaps far beyond the memory of our time, a spacecraft will land on a distant, habitable world. And when its hatch opens, what emerges may not look exactly like us. They may be taller, lighter, shaped by generations in lower gravity. They may speak differently, think differently. But they will carry our story, our language, our songs. They will remember. And beneath alien skies, they will look up. They will search the stars not just for direction, but for belonging. And they will know this is what it means to be human. To wonder, to reach, to endure, to become. And onward we go. To the asteroid belts, great fields of ancient rubble, each rock a relic from the birth of the solar system, untouched for billions of years. We will map them, mine them, learn from them. They are not obstacles, they are archives. Time capsules drifting silently between Mars and Jupiter, holding the chemical whispers of the primordial nebula that birthed our sun, our planets, and eventually us. To the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, whose serene blue hues conceal violent storms and strange internal heat. We have barely touched them, barely glimpsed their moons, some of which, like Triton, may harbor oceans beneath their crusts. We will return, not as passers-by, but as explorers determined to linger, to learn, to listen. And farther still, to the Kuiper Belt and the scattered worldlets that orbit in the deep twilight beyond Neptune. Here lies Pluto, no longer defined by labels, but by mystery, its icy heart, its haze-laced atmosphere, its plains of frozen nitrogen telling tales of unexpected complexity. These outer realms are not empty. They are waiting. As our reach grows, so too does our understanding that the universe is not static. It is alive with change, with movement, with story. Galaxies collide. Stars are born and die. Planets migrate. Moons fracture and reform. Nothing is fixed, not even the stars themselves. The cosmos is not a stage, it is an evolving symphony, and we are beginning to hear its music. We will develop tools to listen more closely, instruments to detect gravitational waves from ancient cataclysms, telescopes to see not just light, but the fingerprints of habitable atmospheres, of planetary weather, of tectonic rhythms on worlds orbiting alien suns. Our sensors will become extensions of our senses, eyes that see the unseeable, ears that hear the deep tremors of space-time. And all the while, we will ask not just where we are going, but why. This question will echo in the halls of future starships, in the classrooms of orbiting schools, in the quiet moments of settlers watching dust storms swirl across Martian plains. It will be carved into the foundations of new civilizations. Why do we explore? And the answer ultimately will not be written in numbers or equations. It will be felt in the heartbeat of those who dare to leave the known for the unknown, in the steady breath of those who wait for signals to return from across the void, in the shared silence of people on different planets looking up at the same stars and knowing they are not alone. This is not a conquest. It is a communion. We do not explore to escape the Earth, but to honor it, to amplify its voice across the cosmos. To take the miracle that began in its oceans, in its forests, in its skies, and carry it forward, seed by seed, idea by idea, into the endless frontier. And one day, long after the last echo of our first rocket has faded, long after our sun has dimmed, there may still be humans somewhere looking into the darkness, lighting a candle, telling a story, building a world. They will be the children of Earth. They will be the stewards of a legacy born of courage. They will be us. We began as wanderers. We remain explorers. And now we are the cosmos reaching back to understand itself. This is the journey. This is the vision. This is Cosmos Explorer.